Hi, in this video, I want to talk about crystals and synchronicity and how quickly the thoughts we are having are manifesting in physical reality. And that makes it all the more important to be aware of the thoughts we are having, because the time between when we have a thought and the time between when the manifestation of that thought occurs is happening very, very quickly. Things are beginning to happen in real time. We are beginning to live more and more in the now moment. One moment we are thinking about something, and the next moment that thing happens or occurs, or the universe conspires to bring about people, situations, circumstances right in your face that manifest the reality that was just in your thoughts a few moments ago, a few days ago. And the lag time between those moments is becoming shorter and shorter. I tell you guys, we are magicians, and now we are raising our vibrational frequency, and before we know it, I'm telling you, we are creating things like this. It's so important, especially at this time, to at least be aware of what's happening in your life, what's in your thoughts, and how quickly the universe is giving you feedback. So I want to share this from some experiences that I've had in the last few months. I'm telling you, we really got to be aware of our thoughts. Okay, for some of you who know me or who've watched a few videos of mine in the past, you know how I love malachite. And I've always had this malachite egg. You know, my dad gave this to me. It was one of the first crystals that I ever had. He didn't know that it was a crystal, but I knew it was a crystal and I really wanted it. And so he gave me this malachite egg and a bunch of crystals. And this particular crystal has always been very important to me because it has a C on it. And I'm always so proud of this malachite egg because I always thought it was special. Because my name is Caroline and this begins with a C, and wow, you know, how magical can that be? You know, so I always have a very special connection with this malachite egg. So a few weeks ago, I started to question whether this malachite was really real. I was thinking, is this malachite for real? How can it have a C on it? You know, is this really real, or is it a fake crystal, or what can this be? I was really beginning to have some little doubt about, you know, the fact that this malachite has a C on it. And I was wondering what was inside the crystal. I was knocking it and feeling, oh my gosh, this feels heavy, and you know, it probably is a real malachite because I feel the energy from it. But then I was wondering, what if there's nothing inside the crystal? Like, I was beginning to really wonder, what if this was just a coating? And it was just in my thoughts, like, you know, random thoughts, and I was beginning to have some kind of doubts about this crystal. And then I thought about it for a while, and I was like, you know what, you know, maybe it probably is a real crystal, you know, which it is, right? So I put it back on the windowsill where it always sits. And then I just, for some reason, I don't know what was going on. A few days after that thought process had crossed my mind, and I had a thud, you know, something had fallen, a crystal had fallen from my windowsill. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Which crystal? Which crystal? Oh my gosh. And it was my malachite. My precious malachite egg had brought direct feedback to me to prove that it was real, and it broke. Can you see this? My malachite egg broke. I was just like, oh my gosh, you know, I was, I mean, I was so sad on so many levels, but yet I was so happy, you know, because I could see that the malachite crystal was really real. I mean, it didn't really have to go to that extent to prove to me that it was real, but I was so shocked by the power of my thoughts. I mean, this crystal has been with me since the beginning, never broken. And I'm just so grateful that at least the C part of it is still, you know, intact, but the crystal broke. You know, the time I thought about that crystal, I never really thought about it as being fake or as, you know, being something that it wasn't. But the feedback came to me directly to prove to me that, Caroline, you're doubting me? I'm going to show you that I'm real. So the malachite crystal broke, and this is the evidence that my crystal is real. You know, very crucial the thoughts that we have and how fast these things are manifesting and how the things around us are bringing to us direct feedback from the universe to prove to us, especially at this time, that things are happening in real time. So if you're thinking about thoughts that are not in alignment with what you truly prefer in your own life, then just guess what? Things might start manifesting in your life that are not in alignment with what you truly want. So it's so crucial to think good thoughts, to be aware that our thoughts are creating our realities, that synchronicities are happening, even if that experience is coming through your precious crystals, like my malachite had taught me. That's just one example that I want to share. So the other thing that I want to share about how quickly we are living in real time and how these things that we call synchronicities or other people think are coincidences or what people might even think of as accidents, even though we know there's no accident because everything is ordained. We create our reality and our experiences, and then the universe, which is neutral, merges or conspires to bring those things and into our life experiences, which we might even think of as collisions with destiny. That's just how it is. There's no accident. Everything just happens the way it needs to happen for us to experience whatever we need to experience and interact with whatever we need to interact with so we can move on in our lives. It's just so interesting when you really think about the layers and layers of information and how interesting life is. I tell you guys, we are magicians. We are creating magic and miracles every time with our thoughts. And sometimes the results may not appear to be what we want. And sometimes the results are just exactly what we prefer. So again, since we are really creators of our realities, our thoughts really, really, really hold the mega energy that brings a lot of things into fruition. It's very, very important to watch our thoughts. Things are happening like this. The energies have shifted. A lot of things are now able to manifest quicker because a lot of density has gone. A lot of densities in our lives have been worked out, so there's a lot of free flow and things are just happening like this, right? Okay, so let me tell you another interesting experience. Over the holidays, I went to visit a group of people, my friends and family. So we were all staying together in one place. I didn't have transportation to go to a crystal store. At the back of my head, I wanted to go to a crystal store while I was there because one of my favorite crystal vendors lives in that area. But since we were all in a group and, most of the people that I was with, my family and friends, they're not into crystals. And, you know how it is when you're with your family and friends. And some of them are just like, oh my gosh, Caroline, don't even begin to have that conversation about whatever it is that you're into. Don't even talk about that stuff, So even I was like, okay, I'm not going to talk about that stuff. I'm going to do me. You guys do you. Let's just have a wonderful experience. And it was all loving. We all love each other. It's just that we're all like on different, trajectories in life, which is great because it might seem sometimes that you're on different paths, but we are all sort of on the same path. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was thinking at the back of my head, it crossed my head, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm in this area and there's a crystal store there and that's my favorite crystal vendor. Maybe I should go visit. But chances that I was going to go there with this group of people because we only had one mode of transportation and it was basically impossible to go there by myself, whatever. The chances were really slim. So I just sort of forgot about it. But then it so happened that the group decided, let's go out into the city. So I was like, okay, let's go out into the city or whatever. We'll go have dinner and everything. And we went into the city. And as we were in the cities, a conversation came up about gambling, of all things, gambling, gambling, lottery tickets and interesting things like that. And then the driver decided, oh, well, guys, there's a new casino in town. There's a new casino in the next town. It's such a beautiful, beautiful casino. So why don't we go and just check it out and see what's going on in there? And I knew in my heart, I know the people that I'm with, that they are not gamblers and there's no judgment here. Whoever's gambling and getting a life experience out of it, that's your own, thing. And, it's all good. Everybody has to go through the experience. So anyway, there's no judgment here. So the people were like, let's go to the casino and see how it is. And because most of the people that I know are really spiritual people and, religious people, they don't gamble, but they've never been to a casino. And they were all seemingly interested in going to the casino to see how it looked like, to just have an experience of just walking around the casino, no gambling whatsoever, but just walking around to see or get a feel of the casino. So I was like, oh, okay, let's go to the casino. So we went to the casino, and let me just tell you, we walked around, and then we were sort of, after we were about to leave, and we were standing inside the casino. There were some stores, right? Then we were standing next to a gift shop. And let me tell you, I suddenly looked inside the gift shop, and guess what I saw? I saw huge crystals. I saw, huge amethyst geodes. I saw huge selenites. I saw beautiful agates. My eyes almost like came out of my face or whatever. I was like, oh my God, guys, crystals. And I ran into the store, and all these people who apparently don't like crystals, my friend, I mean, not that they don't like crystals, they just don't understand this fascination I have with these crystals, and they kind of think I'm wacky that way, but they never really mention it. But the moment I saw that crystal shop, it wasn't really a crystal shop, it was a gift shop that had crystals. I ran into it like a mad woman, and they all came running into that store with me. And we were looking at all these beautiful, beautiful, amazing crystals, quality crystals. They were way too expensive, but I was so shocked to realize that inside the casino, they had like a shop that had all these beautiful crystals. I had wanted to visit a crystal store while I was there, but I never got a chance. But then the crystals showed up in a casino in the place that I wasn't even expecting to see the crystals. And the interesting thing is also that these are the people who were with me in the group. They all came into the gift store with me. Everyone was touching those crystals. I was explaining what the crystals were. Suddenly, all these people who would never have been interested in crystals before were so fascinated by the crystals, and I was explaining these crystals to them, and they were touching the crystals. And I just thought, oh my gosh, Caroline, you were thinking about this thing just 2 days ago or a day ago, and this was an impossibility. These people would never have taken you to that crystal shop, and here you are in the most shocking place, and there's a gift shop here, and all these people who would never have gone into a crystal store are here with you touching crystals, and you're explaining crystals to them. How amazing is this? The universe brought the crystals to me in a place where these people were able to interact with the crystals. They began to know the names of crystals. They touched the crystals. And I was just like, what better way could the universe have assisted me in having a conversation about crystals with these beautiful beings that I love? So this made me realize how much crystals also are bringing synchronicities in our lives, how much we need to keep our thoughts really, really on the frequency that we want, and how much the universe is conspiring to bring into our life experience as quickly as possible, especially at this time, the manifestations of what we want. Life is just so beautiful, and I'm so excited because for me, this year is a year of magic. This is just how it's going to be because there's just no otherwise. I just want this year to be a year of magic. So guys, let me know, what kind of year is this for you? How are you working with your crystals? Are you experiencing synchronicities? Have you experienced things like this? And please leave your comments below. Let me know. I love you guys, and just have a magical, synchronistic year that brings you all the things that you prefer. See you guys next time. Bye.